going on, everyone? It's Steve JMO. It is Monday, the 14th of October, 2019. It's about noon, and I just want to make a quick little live stream today on Mandela effects. And I got 10 written down, pretty much top 10 that I find most important, because there's a lot of Mandela effect deniers, or they're just claiming it's a disremembrance of something, or they take it on a completely different wacky level. So let's just get right up into it. So these are in no particular order, and I'm not even going to go in order from what I have on the paper. So let's just move on out of here, turn that off for a second. Hop over to here, and we'll start with, we'll just watch the Tom Hanks version of Apollo 13. What do you remember being said on Apollo 13 when all the stuff went down, when there was a quote-unquote problem? You know what they said. Tom Hanks knows what they said.
Hey, we've got a problem here.
What did you do?
Nothing. I stirred the tanks.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we have a problem.
Houston, we have a problem. So, that being said, let's just get that on out of here. So Tom Hanks remembers Houston, we have a problem. So let's see if the movie, the reenactment of a movie, let's see if they can get it right. Because this is the original footage from the control room.
So we'd like you to stir up your cryo tanks. In addition, I have shaft and trunnion.
Okay.
Or look at the Comet Bennett if you need it.
Okay. Stand by. Okay, Houston, we've had a problem here.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we've had a problem. We've had a main...
Houston, we've what?
Okay, Houston, we've had a problem here.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we've had a problem.
So, Houston, we have had a problem. So, if you're in space and your oxygen tanks are leaking or whatever the F is happening up there, you think you have time to be, punctual, you have time to be grammatically correct? I don't think so. And the part that's even crazier before, because I don't remember this part here.
Okay, Houston, we've had a problem here.
Alright, hey Houston, we've had a problem here. That doesn't ring a bell to me, and I don't know if it rings a bell with you, but I hope this resonates with some people, because the Apollo 13 mission, we all know it's fake, because space is not real, but it is even changing to this day. So we'll get that one out of here. And now we have Mr. Rogers. And who else is connected with the Mr. Rogers Mandela effect? Not only then the man in the last film there, Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is going to be starring in a movie. It's pretty much a reenactment of Mr. Rogers. It's called A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. So, with that being said, let's take a listen to everyone's, favorite childhood show.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood.
One more time for me, bud.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. Because when they're doing the whole little didn't here, that's all I hear in my head. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Not this neighborhood. It's a neighborhood. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's right there.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood.
A beautiful day in this neighborhood. And you can even see his mouth saying it, so it has 100% completely changed. And I know this is 100% a Mandela effect fact because I used to work in a factory, and the guy who trained me was about 50, 60 years old. And, you know, when something would go down at work, you'd be like, oh, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. You know? So it's a well-known thing that it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Not this neighborhood. The neighborhood. So we'll check that off the list. Another big one. I'm a big Star Wars fan, and obviously, you know, I know it's fake. I know space is fake. I know these movies are nothing but, you know, mind control devices or predictive programming, whatever you want, whatever it could be, you know. So I know that, but I can still watch the movie, and I pick them out. I point them out. I'm like, oh, look at, they're saying this because this is like that, but you know, it's easy to see through the bullshit once you know there's bullshit. If you don't know there's bullshit, you're susceptible to the predictive programming and the mind control type deals. So, but Star Wars, we all know Darth Vader said, Luke, I am your father. And how do we know this? Because in Toy Story 2, they sort of did a remake of it where you had Zurg and Buzz Lightyear battling, and he goes, Buzz, I am your father. So, you know, they're misremembering it. There's even toys that Brian Stavely, every time he does a show, check out his intro, check out his show, like, share, and subscribe him. Every time he does a show, there's a Darth Vader toy. You click on it, and it says, Luke, I am your father. And you even have, God, I can't remember the actor's name, but whoever played Darth Vader, it shows him with the transcript. It says, Luke, I am your father. So let's see what Darth Vader says to Luke now.
He told me enough. He told me you killed him.
No, I am your father.
Really? No, I am your father. I've seen this movie probably in between 50 to 100 times. That's not how it is. I don't have it. Two of my friends, separate friends, they each had the 1977 collector's edition, or whenever this one came out, they had the first ever trilogy on VHS, and we watched them, 20, 30 times as a kid on sleepovers, like that's imprinted in our brain. We would have fights to the death. I'd have the Darth Vader sword, you had the Luke sword, it's what we all said. Luke, I am your father. So this whole new, no, I am your father, and it's not because of the 2000 unedited VHS. It's not a re-upload thing. Go check out your original film, and you'll see it's there. JFK. Two things here. I remember all this shit. One, two, three, four, five, six. A 6-person car. That was not there. There was 4 people. There was a driver, a passenger, the Mrs. and Mr. Kennedy. Now there's 2 more in the middle. And it's funny how no one but her reacts when he gets shot too. So I find that all weird. She was never looking over his face before either. And you'll see when the shot is actually taken as well. It's just one shot. I remember there because it's changed so much that the old theories don't even work. The multiple shooter theory, because back in the other, I'm not going to say back in the day with the old film, but before it shifted, his head went frontwards, his head went backwards. It was ridiculous, and it was in black and white. So the Zapruder film is getting tampered with on all different levels that we can't even freaking understand or imagine. But look at the headshot. Look at her looking at his face. Oh, boom. If it was like that, man, they wouldn't have made freaking movie about it, because that's graphic. Before, it was nothing like that. And we'll watch it again because it's a rerun. And look at these people. They're nothing. No one's reacting to it. They're not even looking at the president there. It's ridiculous. It's completely changed. And if you can't see that, I don't know what to tell you. So, let me get some checks on here. We got a check. Got a check. Check that. Did that. So we've done 4. We got 6 more to go. And actually, I got to get another one queued up after this. I forgot about the last one. So, we'll have to hook that one up in a minute. It's another Tom Hanks one. It's ridiculous. Tom Hanks is all over the Mandela effect. And there's even parts to him alluding to it in, I think, the Da Vinci Code. Because in the iconic painting of the Last Supper, the Holy Grail is on the in front of Jesus on the table. Now it was never there, and he alludes to that in the movie that came out in like 2006. So I don't even freaking know. But what is this here? Black Tom, 1916 bombing. This here is the first foreign attack on U.S. soil. This here brought us into World War I. This here, I think almost 1,000 people died. Why was this never in the history books? How come I was never even talked about it, you know? It was never brought up. This is new to me as of last year. Operation Black Tom, out of nowhere. The first attack on U.S. soil, and apparently the Statue of Liberty took so much damage from it, which would be impossible now because the Statue of Liberty has moved from the Mandela effect or something. It's so far away from Manhattan that this is impossible now, but the effects of the bombing were so bad that it damaged parts of the Statue of Liberty, and people haven't been up to the torch since, which I know is a lie. So, if you don't know about Operation Black Tom, it's time to wake up, because everyone says 9/11, Pearl Harbor, those were the first 2 foreign attacks and only foreign attacks on U.S. soil, but it wasn't. Yeah. German spies, thousands of windows shattered, over 2 million war materials packed into train cars hidden below the Black Tom Railroad. It's ridiculous. Operation Black Tom. It's on FBI.gov. How do we respond? America declared war. America declared war. And another thing, another big Mandela effect that doesn't go exactly with this one, but look up Submarine Alley. There's hundreds of submarines that are just, thousands of submarines that are just sunk because the Nazis attacked us in Virginia, I believe, in the 40s, but that was never talked about. So this Mandela effect is crazy, but this is big. This brought us to World War I. This caused the Statue of Liberty to be shut down. It's ridiculous. And it was never talked about. Never talked about. Never. Never, ever, ever. Right, we'll put Cuba on hold for a minute. And you know what? We'll put the other map on hold, because the maps we'll do all together. So you see me right there typing, life is like a box of chocolates. Life is like a box of chocolates. And let's see what's up with this.
That's half the fun of a new app.
Great. Great. Gotta love ads, man. Oh, we're back on. Shit. That's what happens when you text and try to make a video. Please hold 10 seconds. Alright, we're back. I don't like freaking people texting me while I'm here, but it is what it is. But so, life is like a box of chocolates, Forrest Gump, Tom Hanks.
Hello. My name's Forrest Gump. Do you want a chocolate? I could eat about 1.5 million of these. My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates.
My mama always said life was like a box of chocolates. Well, no. Life is like a box of chocolate. Not life was, life is. And he even says it weird. So let's go back and just hear him say it again.
It's like a box of chocolate. My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates.
Life was like. You know, I got a hard time going with that because just like Star Wars and all these other movies, I've seen Forrest Gump about 300,000 freaking times because, you know, it's on every TV channel every other night. You can't not see it. So, Forrest Gump, Tom Hanks, he's like the Mandela guy. It's fucked up. So, let's go on to these maps real quick, bang out the last three. And what are we looking at here, ladies and gentlemen? This is a map of the Americas. And I don't know about you, but South America is no longer south of America. Southeast of America. Brazil used to be lined up pretty much with Argentina, Chile, but now there's been about a 3,000-mile land shift. And just like a lot of Mandela effects, dude, this one had a backstory for years. Because I live up here in Massachusetts. Brazil's down here. And, you know, even some parts of Brazil line up here. But you know how every New Year's Eve they have a ball drop everywhere? They're doing a ball drop, some major city right around the eastern shore over here. I can't remember which city it was. Not important right now. But it was about, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, or it was about 9 o'clock, maybe even 8 o'clock where I was. And they're celebrating New Year's in Brazil already. And I had nothing for that. We even looked at maps then. Brazil was right below us. It was ridiculous. I was about 12 years old. That blew my mind. I just couldn't understand it. That stuck with me for a while. It still sticks with me to this day. And then now all of a sudden you have Brazil shifting. And it makes perfect sense. You don't believe me? That's not my problem. It is what it is. But South America has completely shifted. It has shifted so far that the Panama Canal... Fuck. The Panama Canal, you can't even see Panama on this motherfucker. The Panama Canal, it's north and south now. Panama Canal. Motherfucking north and south. Not east and west. North and south. Don't believe me? Look it up on your own. I'm doing this shit live right now. So, Panama Canal, South America, both banged out. That's 7 and 8. Now I got 9 and 10 right here. Cuba. I severely don't remember Cuba. I remember it being this shape. I remember it being about, this big. And now it's like a stone's throw away from the southern tip of Florida. And it's longer than Florida. It's almost bigger than Florida. Cuba was never this big. Cuba was never this long. Anyone alive long enough to remember the Cuba Missile Crisis, think back to those days, because it was never this big, it was never that long, and it was never that close to America. But now it makes sense for the Cuban Missile Crisis because it's fucking, you could throw a rock. It's ridiculous. So Cuba, check. Mandela effect. You like that? So What do we got here? We got Eastern Europe. I think it's all scrambled, but we'll get into that later. But look at Italy, bro. Look at the boot. It's sideways. It's supposed to go down here and boom. Not boom and boom. Sicily's way the fuck here now. Like, it was over here because this shit went like boom, like a boot. Now it's like a high messed up heel, bro. I don't know what's going on, man. It's crazy. And you got the rest of Europe over here. Oh, they're not even mapping this shit. You know, I think it's all mixed up. Like, Germany and Poland and all this other stuff. I don't know. I think something's happening, man. Land masses are changing. This was prophesied in the Bible. I think in Amos. But that's something you can look up on your own time if you don't believe me. But look at Italy. It's on its side, bro. It's on its side. It's so crazy. But, you know, those are my top 10 Mandela effects. I'm going to get on out of here. Still got a good amount of the day to go, so I'm sure I'll be on later. But just want to say, you know, thank you. You guys have a good day. God bless. You know, keep faith in God. Keep